What's up, guys? 40 the Broadway saying here, and we got a cool video for you here, guys. For those of you that are excited for Final Fantasy VII Evercrisis, this is going to be an early character tier list to help you guys prepare ahead of time before this game launches. I got a good buddy of mine that's going to be joining me on this discussion to help with this tier list. My friend Mac from the Evercrisis Discord. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, so guys, been playing the game since the CBT. I think we met on Discord like a few weeks ago and talk a bit about the game and which we enjoy together.
Yeah.
Been playing like gacha games like for quite a bit, but mostly like JRPG, retro stuff. Huge Final Fantasy fan, obviously. And yeah, when I heard about the project, I was really hyped about it.
Definitely, yeah. I think a lot of us have been waiting for when this game is going to be coming out because they kept pushing it, and we finally have a release date and all that, so we're very excited for it.
And even though the release has been like probably came faster than we imagined, I still find the wait really long.
Yeah, definitely, it definitely is. So yeah, we got a tier list for you guys. Again, a friendly reminder to those of you that really are invested in tier list. This is all very subjective based on, our opinions from our experience with the closed beta, as well as some of the data that's already there. Any of this could change because this is for pre-launch, so this is super early. And most importantly, play your favorites, guys. If there's one of your characters here that you feel like was ranked too low and it's still your favorite, play that character. That's all we're here for, just to have fun. But if for those of you that want information, this is what this video is for. So Mac and I are gonna go over each character when you unlock them in the closed beta. So why don't we start off with Poster Boy Cloud? Why don't you take this one? What makes
Okay. Well, for starter, I'd say like he's one of the best physical DPS in the game. To top it off, he has a lot of good weapons, which I think is really relevant in a way that even though we're making a tier list, what makes a character good are his weapons, basically. Limit breaks are also relevant, but yeah, Cloud has some high-powered weapon through his arsenal, stuff like Apocalypse, Mwazame, even Crystal Sword, which is one of the best healing weapons in the game right now. So very versatile character, I'd say.
Total agreement with that. I mean, he's Poster Boy. They had to give him everything to make him a solid choice for everything. And I think one weapon that I wanted to highlight was Organics. So he has healing, he has really good high physical damage, and then he also has like a CC, a stun, which is like they gave him pretty much everything. So he could literally do everything. I think we put him in S. I mean...
Yeah, that was the idea alongside a few other characters. Yeah, he's clearly at the top of the list for me.
Yeah, definitely. And it just makes sense because he's the main character. We got Barret next. Barret, I see him as like he's like a secondary DPS who could be a main DPS, but I think he's better as secondary. Great for AoE, mob clearing. What else can he do? He has that really cheap skill, right?
Yeah, I think like micro laser. No, it's not micro laser. Yeah, he has a cheap W machine, right?
Yeah.
Right. This is the one that costs only 2 ATB, which debuff too. So it's a really nice weapon to play as a secondary DPS, but is quite versatile too, I'd say, and among the better characters too.
Definitely. I think he's great as offensive support. But because of that, I think we put him in like high A tier, right?
Yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah, high A tier. Great offensive support with that debuff and really cheap skill. I would say more of a secondary DPS that provides a little bit of support. So that's Barret's role there. Let's go ahead and talk about Tifa here. What are Tifa's highlights to you?
Tifa, I'd say, is one of the better magical DPS. She's also a really versatile character, meaning that she can do it all, whether it's physical, magical. I'd say she's a bit under the rest when it comes to healing, but she also has a lot of cool weapons that will allow to do many stuff. I think mostly she's a better magical attacker, whether it's for zoning, like ranging on all enemies, or just single target, which she's going to be really good at too. Limit Break Rise, I think she's quite normal. I say just the same as most of the other limit breaks, but overall, like a really good character, really solid to build.
Yeah, she's pretty flexible too. I would say with Tifa, she's good at at different roles, but doesn't excel any better at a specific one compared to some of the S tier ones, which is why we agreed to place her on A tier for the time being. But again, that could definitely change.
Yeah. I mean, the discussion we're having now is just based on the current weapon we have, and that's why make a character good again. So just how people won't be too attached to that, because it's bound to change every now and then.
Absolutely. So next that we have is Aerith, who, I mean, I think we both agree that she's...
I have only one word to say: bonkers.
Yeah, she's the best character in the game right now. Yeah, she
for
is.
Sure. I'll let you talk about her. I think.
So, healing wise, she's arguably the best. No, she is the best healer in the game. She has a really good limit break. It's like a panic button. Her fairy tail is another really powerful healing staff. It's probably her best healing staff. If you're looking for like support, like AoE buffing and AoE healing, she does it all. But to top it off, her actual magic damage is pretty good, and she also has some good physical options, even though it's kind of weird running a physical option on Aerith, that are also pretty solid. She's arguably, currently, before launch, the best character in the game. I think a lot of people, if you're considering going for a character that can help you progress through content fast and keep your party alive, she's definitely the one to go to. She just does it all, and it's pretty insane early on.
Yeah, I agree. I think overall, like, she's also a very versatile character, but she's obviously the best healer right now. Fairy Tail being the highest multiplayer weapon for healing. Her LB is just amazing. Like, it's, I think, a real advantage especially in harder content, to be able to press a button that requires no resource whatsoever to use, and get some heal out of it. And like you said, she's also really, really good magic DPS. So she can also be like an hybrid character which can heal and DPS at the same time. You can do it all.
Absolutely. Best character in the game currently before this game comes out, Aerith. Very, very cool. So next, I'll let you take this one, is Red 13, or those of us know him as Nanaki is his real name. So talk about Red 13 here. This guy is interesting.
I'd say they wanted to make Nanaki like basically a support-oriented character. He also can do a lot of stuff, but I'd say when I look at other weapons from other characters, he's a bit under as of now. What plays for him a lot, I'd say, is one of his limit break, which is really amazing. So even though I wouldn't put him like at the top or even at the middle of the list, I'd say just him getting new good weapon might make him one of the best character in the game. Yeah, that's what I say. Overall, yeah, I played him during CBT a lot, and I really wasn't convinced. But I'm pretty sure like most of the weapons we have access for Nanaki right now are, at least when you get them, not that great. But with whatever boost might be better. I don't know. We only had 7 days in the end, so it's kind of hard to talk about him like in every aspect.
Absolutely, yeah. So he's interesting. I will say one of the highlights for him is he has the fastest his limit break one is like super fast. It's like literally the fastest charging limit break in the game. His second limit break is amazing for support, but his focus was like HP regen, which if you want to pick that over like a big heal, I would rather take the big heal. It's kind of interesting design, but like you said, in the future, when he gets more gear, he could definitely pop, bump up on this tier list. But because of the available weapons he has, I think for now, he's probably at the bottom of A tier.
Yeah, if I might add something, I'd say like most of the regen weapon felt kind of underperforming compared to zone healing weapon like Iris, Cloud, Matt. But those regen weapon might actually become better once you get to overboost them, basically. We just don't know because we didn't have enough time to raise this weapon to a certain level.
Yeah, I agree.
So
So yeah, Nanaki Red 13. He is currently at the bottom of A tier. He's not a bad character by any means. He will only get better, but just with the gear that he has, that's where we placed him. Next character is Zack Fair, my favorite Final Fantasy character. Zack is primary. He's going to be a primary DPS character. He has both really strong physical and magic-oriented capabilities with the weapons that he has. I say with Zack, he's interesting because he's kind of like a hybrid DPS where he's good at both, but his magic side actually leans a little bit better because one of his weapons, I think it's Arc Sword Z, gives him 3 support materia that increases his magic attack up to an additional 60%. It's Zack, I think he's tricky to build because you could build him hybrid, but then you're not getting the best of his full potential if you build him one way or another. That's my opinion on him from actually playtesting too and playing him. But if you build him properly, I think he would definitely be a strong main DPS. I don't think he's as good as Cloud and one other character that we're going to talk about very soon on this tier list. So I'm going to have to put him, and we did agree on this, on A tier right now, just above Red 13, just for the time being with what he has available.
Yeah, totally agree with everything you said. Arc Sword is a really good weapon, and like you said again, I think like you need a specific weapon to be able to play him.
Yeah.
And feel like he's good, like Arc Sword, and can recall the name of the other swords, Enhanced Sword Z, which is a fire magical weapon on all enemies.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need a specific weapon to build him as a magical dealer, magical damager, and if you're going the physical route, I'd say Cloud and Matt are going to be better in any case.
Absolutely, definitely. Speaking of first soldier characters, we're going to kick things off, I guess, with Matt. I'll let you take this one. This guy.
Yeah. So basically, my experience on CBT was like I started playing Nanaki, and as soon as I got a zone healing weapon for Matt, I switched directly, and that's the point where I realized that he's actually a beast. Like Cloud or Aerith, he can do everything, basically. Whether it's magical, physical DPS, he's a really good healer too. And his second limit break also synergizes with the heal role, giving a bit of protection, magical, physical, a bit of heal. So yeah, it's the kind of character that you're going to be able to build no matter what, whether it's physical or magical. I think he's going to perform great in any role you want him to be.
Definitely. And one of the things about Matt, he has 2 weapons that have a modifier of 940%. So he's arguably, but the thing is, he does need to have his costume, I believe, right? He needs his costume.
Basically, I think the costume brings more physical stuff to the table, like it's 10 points in strength and 10 points in physical strength. So basically you're going to be able with his skin to reach higher level in a specific role, allowing him to do more damage basically.
Yeah, he actually can outdamage Cloud with that costume on. Cloud can outdamage Matt in situations where if you have his Murasame costume and his weapon, and the enemy happens to be weak to lightning, that's the situation where Cloud can. But the thing is, Matt's weapons are non-elemental, so he's not necessarily restricted. So he is overall, I would say at the moment right now, he's actually better than Cloud. He's higher on the S tier list than Cloud in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I think if we're talking about pure physical damage, he's numero uno, basically. Yeah. Like no one's going to be able to deal as much damage as he does.
Definitely. I just wish his name wasn't so generic.
Yeah, me too. Like, but yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You can have it all. It is what it is, yeah.
Yeah. Next, we got Glenn. So this character, we saw him in the trailer. He was trying to fight young Sephiroth. Glenn has some similarities to Barret in that he has a weapon that gives him a 2 ATB cost skill that also applies a defense down debuff. So he has a very efficient skill that can apply that debuff. Also has great AoE tools. I think what puts him a little higher than Barret is his overall damage output, even though he's more of like a secondary DPS, is a bit higher than Barret's. Barret is tankier, because I think Barret has like the highest HP in the game, I believe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Glenn has a bit more damage, kind of providing that similar role. I'd say he's above Barret in that A tier. What are your thoughts on Glenn?
I totally agree. I'd say there's another thing that sets him up apart from Barret, and it's the extra stats you're gonna get from his sub-weapons, basically. Like, you get really interesting stuff on weapon, like Piece of Cake, Rest in Peace, Arcade Squad, which is gonna be really good for either physical or magical attacker.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have Glenn at the top of A tier. Fantastic offensive support. Has a kind of similar to Barret, but does more damage. And he also has the stats on his weapons are really good for sub weapons. So if you're looking for like stat sticks, his weapons are the ones to go to as far as like physical damage. Very good character. Last character that we have, I'll let you take this one, is Lucia. She has some uniqueness about her. Go ahead and take it, bro.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to play her during beta, just at the end when I pulled a lot of her weapon. But basically, Lucia is a versatile hero, same as I'd say Zack. The thing is, she has a bit of uniqueness in a way that one of her weapons can silence the enemy, the same way Cloud can stun the enemy with Organic. She also, if I believe, has the best water weapon in the game when it comes to physical damage. So yeah, she has a decent amount of things going on for her, which I think makes her a good character to build no matter what.
Definitely. I think she's a good... I used her a lot, believe it or not. I actually might main her at the start of the game. Again, like I did in the closed beta. I had a lot of fun with her. What I did notice is that both of her limit breaks were kind of the same.
Yeah.
Just a different animation. And she can be a good main DPS, but not as good as the top two, which are, Matt and Cloud. But she does have that silence going for her, which that can definitely come in handy in a pinch. Which is currently unique only to her. So I had a ton of fun with her. I don't think she is S tier at all. I think she's like middle of the road A tier, a little bit above Zack, because she has that uniqueness with the silence. But she's a lot of fun to play. If you're looking for like a different playstyle, I think she's a character that, someone could consider picking up that's a little bit different from what the rest of the cast can do, especially the physical damage dealers.
Yeah, and if you enjoy just the character for what it is, I'd say she's pretty cool animation-wise. Like the sniping limit break is kind of cool though.
Definitely, yeah. She's another waifu. So, but yeah, guys, this is the tier list. There are no B, C, and D, which is cool. Again, this is all subjective. This is based on my experience, Mac's experience, as well as the conversations that he and I have had with some of the rest of the members of the evercrisis Discord. Which, by the way, you guys should consider joining that Discord. It is going to be linked in the video description as the pinned comments. I want to say thank you to Mac for joining me on this video. Do you have any last words to say to the audience?
Thanks for having me, and sorry for the bad English accent.
Oh, no worries, bro. No worries. We got the information out, and that's all that matters. And hopefully this video helps those out that are going to be preparing for the official launch for the game. We're both very excited. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and stay blessed, everybody.
See ya.